Breaking news, the skincare industry just announced a brand new concept called skin cycling. This concept is not actually new because dermatologists have been recommending some form of skin cycling for a very long time, but the term is coined and popularized by Dr. Whitney Bowe, who is a fellow dermatologist. Let's dive into this term and what it means for all of you skincare lovers. Make sure you watch till the end of this video so you don't miss out on helpful tips that are important to implement in your skincare routines. So my name is Dr. Swati Cannon and I am a board-certified dermatologist out here in California. What is skin cycling? It's a concept for a skincare routine that kind of cycles through various active ingredients as follows. So on night 1, you have your exfoliation night where you use a chemical exfoliant. Night 2 is your retinoid night. Night 3 is your moisturize only night. Night 4 is your moisturize only night, and then you repeat. So it's basically like exfoliation, retinoid, moisturize, moisturize. Exfoliation, retinoid, moisturize, moisturize on repeat. Now, this skin cycling routine actually describes the nighttime routine, but your morning routine really stays the same. And the common question I get asked is, can I use my vitamin C when I'm doing skin cycling? And the answer is yes. You can use your vitamin C in the morning and still use your retinoid or exfoliation at nighttime. And this is all okay as long as you don't get any skin irritation with any of the products or combination of products that you're using. Have you tried skin cycling or a variation of skin cycling? If so, please let me know by commenting below. I would love to hear your thoughts. And please subscribe to this channel because if you subscribe, I'm able to grow this channel, which allows me to make more videos that are helpful. Now, as I said before, all dermatologists have recommending some form of skin cycling. We just didn't call it skin cycling. But I love that this term has been coined because it gives a set regimen for any skincare beginner and to anyone that tends to overdo their active ingredients or overdo their exfoliation. So should you be doing skin cycling? If you have problems like you're breaking down your skincare barrier or you have sensitive skin or you don't know where to start, then you can start skin cycling because, as I said before, it gives you a set regimen. But if you already have a routine that works for you and that you follow, then you don't need to do skin cycling because you already have something that works for you. Some of us already do a version of this. So I use retinoids about 4 to 5 times a week at nighttime. My 6th night is my exfoliation night. And then my 7th night is when I only moisturize. I don't use a retinoid or an exfoliating regimen. And then I just repeat this, every week. So this is actually the regimen that I also recommend to other people. Once you're used to your beginner retinoid phase, you can just use retinoids for prolonged periods of time during your week. And I tell people, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Additionally, we have to remember that every one of us is different and what may work for one person, it may not work for you. So I think people have this tendency to watch, these TikTok videos where someone's describing their skin cycling regimen and how it completely improved their skin appearance. The viewer wants to do the same thing. Now, the reason the skin cycling probably worked for that person is because it gave them a consistent routine to follow. And that's what's really important, is to have that consistent routine. Does skin cycling work? Well, of course, like I said, if you stick to any routine that doesn't break down your skin barrier, it works. Dr. Bowe also coined this term because she felt like it was an undoing of all of the excessive skincare routines we were on during the COVID pandemic. All of us dermatologists felt like people were going so overboard on their exfoliation routine, on their skincare routine, using too many active ingredients. So she wanted to reel people back and have them kind of go back to the basics of just 1 or 2 active ingredients followed by lots of moisturizing. So it kind of helped people take a step back from overdoing their skincare routine and simplify their skincare regimen. This means that you're going to have less irritation, and if you have less irritation, you're more likely to stick to a routine. So bottom line, it's really great for skincare beginners who don't know where to start and need an organized calendar of what to do when. Speaking of which, my next video is actually going to be on how to create a morning and nighttime skincare routine. It will give you a template that's modifiable for your skincare issues. Now let's break down skin cycling by nights. Night 1 is your exfoliation night. In a previous video that I did, the number 1 mistake that people made was over exfoliation. Briefly, exfoliation just means that we need to slough off the dead cells that are in a layer of your skin called the stratum corneum. So in the skin cycling regimen, you would exfoliate about twice a week. Now for some, twice a week exfoliation is a little too much. And it also depends on which products you're using. So if a product contains like 25% glycolic acid, you shouldn't really be using that twice a week. Versus if a product contains like 5% glycolic, yeah, if you used it twice a week, it would be okay. So how much you exfoliate depends really on the product that you're using and the strengths of acids in those products. If you were to exfoliate twice a week, like I said, make sure you use a glycolic acid or a lactic acid or a polyhydroxy acid, something that's a little bit less irritating so you can tolerate it better. You can also use salicylic acid, which is a beta hydroxy acid, and this is really great for patients who have acne-prone skin or those sebaceous filaments or blackheads. And you can use it either as a wash, which you can do it, daily in the morning, so not part of your skin cycling regimen. But if you used a leave-on beta hydroxy acid, then you can do this about, once, max twice a week. I actually have an entire series on chemical exfoliation with these 3 videos. So check them out if you want to learn how to exfoliate your skin effectively and properly. Night 2, now this is the retinoid night. I do love retinoids. And again, I do have a video on how to incorporate a retinoid into your skincare routine. Now, in the skin cycling regimen, again, you would be using retinoids twice a week. And that's perfectly okay if you are a beginner, because for beginners, we tell you to start using a retinoid, 2 to 3 times a week, and then to slowly increase as tolerated. However, we don't really have studies to show how effective retinoids would be if you're only using it twice a week. So later on in this video, I discuss why this is so important to know what the studies for retinoids are saying. So make sure you watch till the end. Nights 3 and 4 are then your moisturizer nights. So this means you don't exfoliate, you don't use a retinoid, you just moisturize for those 2 nights. And this brings up a really good question, like, does the skin need to breathe? It's a kind of a misconception to think that moisturizers are your skin break. Technically, you're still using ingredients within your moisturizers, which, by the way, your skin loves. So your moisturizer should contain ceramides, glycerin, or vitamin E, or hyaluronic acid. These are things that allow water to be absorbed into your skin, thus giving you that dewy look. It also helps to repair your skin barrier. But do you really need to take a break from active ingredients like retinoids or exfoliation? And I think the answer is yes, but it's not yes because your skin gets used to these products. It's yes because our environment changes, our internal homeostasis changes. A lot of different factors affect our skin barrier and its ability to retain water. So if we make it a habit to always hydrate the skin, to always moisturize the skin, it's going to stay dewy and plump a lot longer and will be less likely to be irritated. By the way, the technical term for when your skin does get used to certain products, it's called tachyphylaxis. And this can commonly happen to certain topical prescriptions that we give, like topical steroids, but we don't have any evidence that it happens to retinoids or exfoliants or other active ingredients that we commonly use in skin routines. What are the downsides to skin cycling? The thing to remember is that the study on retinoids were done on patients using the retinoid every single night. So if you're only using retinoids twice a week, after a while, you're not really going to see the benefits that we attribute to retinoids, like collagen building or skin lightening or texture refinement. Initially, like I said, we tell you to start retinoids 2 to 3 times a week to prevent or minimize any skin irritation. But eventually, you're supposed to increase the use of your retinoids to at least 4 to 5 times a week at nighttime. And this is so that you can actually see the benefits of retinoids. So this is why I think skin cycling is, while it's really great for beginners, it's not really going to be effective for somebody who's already into their skincare routines. Instead of using exfoliation and retinoids together in the same week for skincare beginners, I actually prefer that you get used to the retinoids first. So you get used to using them, 5-6 times a week first, and then you slowly add on the exfoliation. Additionally, one thing to remember is that not everybody needs exfoliation. So our skin actually naturally sloughs off every 28 to 30 days. This process is a lot more effective and efficient when we're younger, like in our 20s and 30s. So if you already have dewy, plump, and good skin, you don't really need to exfoliate. But what happens as we get older is that these cells no longer slough off as easily and they become more sticky. It makes your skin look very dull. So as we get older, that's where the exfoliation component kind of becomes more important. So just to reiterate, I do recommend exfoliation. I love exfoliation, but I recommend it about once a week, maybe twice a week at the most, depending on what skincare ingredients you're using, and only after you get used to retinoids. Retinoids are really the GOAT of skincare. So overall, I do like skin cycling and I approve of skin cycling, but there's actually a very important step missing before you even get to your skin cycling regimen, like before you get to the exfoliation night, before you get to the retinoid night. And that is called double cleansing. And double cleansing is a really important first step in your nightly skincare regimen that precedes any active ingredient you put on your face. Because without cleaning your face properly, all this other stuff is useless. It's not going to penetrate and go where you need it to go for it to be effective. So make sure you watch this video on double cleansing, where I give you a step-by-step method on how to double cleanse, and I also give you product recommendations. So thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share this video with your family and friends. I will see you in the next one.